So let me show you how to use this EnviroCloth. So first of all, you're going to just walk over to the sink and you're going to wet it with cold water. And you want the cloth to just be damp, not wet. So you're going to wring it out really, really well. Then you're going to take the cloth and you're going to fold it in half once, and then you're going to fold it in half again. Now you have 8 cleaning surfaces to use. When you use the cloth, you want to use it flat, because look at all these thousands and thousands of little tiny loops. You want those loops to come in contact with the surface that you're cleaning. Okay, so the first demo I'm going to do is using raw chicken. As you can see, I haven't cleaned my counters at all. This is kind of how my kitchen looks at the end of a busy day. And what I'm going to do is make my counter even dirtier. So I'm going to take some raw chicken and I'm going to smear some of the raw chicken onto the counter, because that usually gets your attention. You know, that's something that we're going to be really careful how we clean that up. So I buy these from a supply store online. These are made by a company called Hygiena, and this is a rapid protein residue test. So this is going to tell me whether the surface is clean. So I'm going to do a test first of where I put the raw chicken, so that we know that yes, there is raw chicken on the counter, and yes, the counter is dirty, if you can't see that already. Now, this can take 2 to 10 minutes to show up. If it's green, it's clean. The darker purple it gets, it shows the more protein is there. You can see that it's already turning purple. So this counter is definitely dirty. There's definitely raw chicken on the counter. Now, with my EnviroCloth with just water that I've just made damp, I'm actually going to refold it so the tag is on the outside. And I'm going to use the side with the tag just so you and I know what side I've used to clean up the raw chicken. Okay, so here's my raw chicken, and I'm just going to clean the counter off with the tag side, just wiping it down really quickly. And I'm going to retest the surface with a new protein swab. Did I get all the raw chicken and everything else that was kind of left on my counter from the long day off, and is my counter clean? So as you can see already, with Norwex and microfiber and just water, I've been able to remove 99% of bacteria from a surface. Dirt, grease, and grime are caught in the cloth. So now, most people ask me, well, what are you going to do with that cloth now that the raw chicken is there? Well, my brain can only go so far. I'm going to launder that cloth. But let me answer your question. Can I recontaminate the surface with this cloth? So let's take the cloth on the side that I used. We know it's the tag side. And let's rub the counter again with the same side of the cloth that I cleaned up the raw chicken. And let's see, can I put the raw chicken back on the counter? Or do these thousands of little tiny loops actually lift up the dirt, grease, and grime and hold them in the cloth? So I'm going to take my clean tester and I'm going to retest the surface to see if the surface is still clean, or did I cross-contaminate? And the answer is no, I didn't cross-contaminate. The surface is actually still clean. The Norwex EnviroCloth can lift dirt, grease, and grime from a surface and hold it in the cloth. Okay? All right, now most of you use Clorox wipes. If you were to have something like this, you would use Clorox wipes. Now, you can go get any Clorox container, and if this is something that you would use to clean up raw chicken, let me make sure you're using it correctly. To disinfect a hard, non-porous surface, you need to wipe the surface using enough wipes to keep the treated surface visibly wet for 4 minutes. Now, if this is a surface like my kitchen counter, where I've got bar stools and kids are going to sit and eat, if this surface is going to come in contact with food, a potable water rinse is required. Now, I don't know anyone that uses these correctly. I don't know anyone that stands there for 4 minutes, keeping the surface visibly wet, and then I don't know anyone that uses a cold water rinse to rinse this chemical off the surface. So if you have little people touching the surface, grabbing Cheerios, putting it in their mouth, and you're using something like this, they are eating the toxins and the cleaners that are in a product like this. For me, this is one of the ways that Norwex makes my life easier. I don't want to buy the Clorox wipes over and over again. I want to grab the EnviroCloth, I want to get it wet with white water, I want to clean the surface, in 30 seconds, walk away and be done. No 4 minutes, no rinsing, because I didn't put a chemical on the surface to begin with. Okay, so now, another name for the EnviroCloth in our house is the magic cloth, because people email me all the time. They're magic EnviroCloth stories, so let me share some of them with you. I had a friend whose son cut his leg, ran through the house, dripping blood across the carpet. EnviroCloth and just water got the blood stains out of the carpet. I had a friend who rented a house. When they moved their sofa, there was a large hot chocolate stain in a white carpet. She didn't know how long the hot chocolate stain had been there. She got it out with an EnviroCloth with just water. Nail polish off of a marble countertop, chocolate fondue out of an antique armchair, smashed June beetle, smashed right in the huge rug, right in the middle of one of my parties. Cleaned up the entire June beetle, couldn't even tell where it was. At one of my very first parties, a lady spilled red wine into a white upholstered chair, almost on cue, and I got to clean it out with an EnviroCloth with just water. Now, my daughter Lucy's 9 years old. One of her jobs in high pollen season is to clean our deck furniture. So if we're gonna go outside to eat, I want all the yellow pollen cleaned off. Before I had Norwex, I would give her a spray bottle with some vinegar water. I would give her paper towels and a recycled trash bag. And I had taught her how to do this job, and she went out and sprayed and wiped with the paper towels and did exactly what I had told her to do. And if it was just our family eating out there, probably it would be kind of fine. But if we were having company, I would go and redo the job, because she got about 90% of the pollen off, but you could really tell every motion that she had made. You know, paper towels just kind of tend to smear things all over. They're not picking up everything off the surface and holding it there. And so now I can give Lucy an EnviroCloth with just water. She can go out, she can clean all the deck furniture. She knows how to use the 8 sides of this cloth. If it's full of pollen and she's not done with the job, she brings it to me. I rinse it under hot water. Why do I rinse it under hot water? Because hot water causes the fibers to swell, release the pollen goes down the drain. I turn the water to cold, causing those fibers to tighten back up, wring it and hand it to her again. She goes and finishes the job. Now, I don't know about you, but I would never want to work for a boss that told me how to do a job, gave me the materials to do it. I did exactly what they said, but I could never succeed. And that's what I had done when I had given her the paper towels and the spray bottle of vinegar water. There was absolutely no way for her to succeed perfectly the first time. This, she can do the job perfectly. It's done. I don't ever have to redo it. She feels great and I feel great. Okay, so now let me tell you about EnviroCloth options. You can buy them individually, or you can buy them in a pack of 4. The pack of 4 comes with 1 pink, 1 gray, 1 green, and 1 blue. The blue they also make in something called a scrubby corner cloth. This is an EnviroCloth with a little pocket on the corner and a little scrubby part. This actually feels kind of like one part of Velcro, you know, the catchy part of Velcro. It's soft, but when my oldest daughter cleans the bathroom and she's cleaning off like stuck-on toothpaste, or in the bottom of the sink there'll be like a little pink ring, this gets that off really, really easily. This gives you just a little bit of scrubbing power. So they come like this. They also come in a pack of 4 in minis. This is the mini size, and so you'll get 1 of each color in the minis. And this is perfect for Lucy's hands because she's got small hands, but I have huge hands, so the only time I really use 1 of these is in my car. I keep 1 in my pocketbook. And when I'm cleaning the outside of the toilet. When I'm cleaning the outside of the toilet and I'm trying to get in all these little crevices, I find it easier to use 1 of these sometimes than using 1 of these. Now, the EnviroCloth, this material also comes woven a little bit differently in something called a kitchen cloth. Now, let me show you the difference. The kitchen cloth is rectangular instead of square. It's a little bit thinner, so it'll dry faster, and it has this beautiful corduroy weave. This is the cloth I use more than any other. If I'm going to clean up food, crumbs on my counter, which I'll demonstrate in a minute, I'm going to use the kitchen cloth because the crumbs are picked up by these grooves in this kitchen cloth very, very easily, and then they're rinsed out very easily. All I have to do is walk over to the sink, run it under hot water, and the crumbs will fall right out. As you can see, I've got one here. So if I'm cleaning up food on my counters or table, I use the kitchen cloth. If I'm cleaning the rest of my house, I'll use an EnviroCloth. So if I'm cleaning my kitchen cabinets and things that have splattered there, if I'm cleaning windows or mirrors or appliances, my stove, the outside of my stove, not the top that has food. If I'm cleaning my leather chair or anything, this is what I use to clean the rest of my house. But it's the same material. It still has anti-bac. See, the tag says anti-bac. That means it has silver in it. And you can hang it to dry by the tag. It's really nice. Okay, so now I'm going to introduce you to my second cloth. This purple cloth is called a window cloth, and it's silky. It's not, it feels completely different than the EnviroCloth. It's also a square. Now this is the only cloth that you are going to use dry. This is going to give you your streak-free, lint-free shine. So oftentimes you'll use an EnviroCloth first and a window cloth second. Let me demonstrate that. Okay, so I've got some butter here. Now as you can see, this window is already dirty. There's lots of kind of drips and pollen and stuff on the outside, but I'm going to add some butter on the inside because oils and butter are very, very difficult to get off of a window. So little kid fingerprints, dog noses, dirt, grease, and grime. To be able to get that off of a surface with Windex and a paper towel is hard, but with an EnviroCloth, it's very simple. I can get all the butter off just like that. The butter is gone. So now I'm going to finish just cleaning this window. Now, the window's clean, the dirt, grease, and grime are off, but I want a streak-free, lint-free shine. So I'm going to take the window cloth or my polishing cloth and I'm just going to dry the window. And that is going to give me my streak-free, lint-free shine. Now the outside is dirty, so I'm going to pop my window open using the same EnviroCloth, just a different side because I've got 8 cleaning surfaces. So I'm just going to use a different side. Now there's no sprays, I'm not buying Windex, I'm not buying paper towels, I'm not having to inhale anything as my face is only a few inches from the surface I'm cleaning. Now as you can see, I was able to pick up all that dirt from my window. Now I'm going to use my window polishing cloth to just dry it off. Give me my lint-free, streak-free shine. Look at that window. Absolutely beautiful, and I did it in a matter of seconds. So these two cloths I've showed you today, the EnviroCloth and the window cloth, come together in a package called the Basic Package.